Hey there, my fellow Iron Age Seraphs, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, Episode 40, Iron Anvil, Part 2. There's like so many voxels here, it's like hard to tell what we're even looking at. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fill from the bottom up. So pull the voxels up top, down. It's also worth mentioning the new ingots. Oh, I never actually heated those. The new ingots that are added to what you're working on are going to be added like in the middle, and it will stack up and up and up. So it's also in your best interest to clear out the middle of it so they don't stack up so high it makes it hard to work. Essentially, you want it as flat as possible so that there's less of a mountain of metal in the middle of your project. Because once there's a mountain of metal in the middle of your project, it's just really hard to... it's just a lot more hammer strikes. So, yeah, I'm going to need more hammer. So maybe partway through this project, what I'll do is I'll pull this off of the forge, or off of the anvil, and heat up one of the bronze ingots, or maybe two of the bronze ingots, and make a extra bronze hammers from both ingots. So you can see the iron kind of blobs up in the middle there. But actually, it worked out pretty well here. It went kind of where the base needed to have metal. What am I making? It's at the top of the screen. So even though all of the current metal that's part of this project is not misplaced, there's no voxels out of place, I want to clear out sort of the middle top section to make room for another ingot. Alright, we've sort of flattened out the top. So far, so good. It's taking form. And I'm really glad that we found borax, because you can't make an anvil, iron anvil without borax. I guess while that heats up, might as well grab the borax, although I'm definitely getting ahead of myself. How much borax does it take? 1? 10? I forget. Just the one? Okay. That would be in here. Check it up on leather. Still processing. Oh, soaked hides are done. However, So I'll scrape them. And then only one large one fits in there. So I'll just put the one in. And the rest of the hides will wait. Because I don't have enough wheat tin in the barrel to process the others. Too cold to work. Okay, we'll have to heat up the project too. And of course, ran out of coal midway. Blob. All right, no voxels at a place. We just trim. They are. Thank you for the resub. Anvil base is right there. All right, I am going to have to take a minute to, I should have stuck one of the, or both of these on. I'm going to need to make, more hammers. We're going through our hammers, too quickly. But this will start the top. It's about to be too cold to work. At least I can hammer, flatten it out a little bit. Essentially making a plate. All right. So the top can heat up while we... Wait! The frickin' tin bronze is not that hot. It was glowing a second ago. What the hell? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was my imagination. Okay. At least the hammerheads are easy to make, unlike the anvil itself. So, question: keep working on the anvil? I know I have part of the top, but like I could abandon it to work on other things if you want. Other things to work on would be like a windmill or more leatherworking or something like that. Just give me the option to change gears if you want. Not saying that I want that. Oops. It's not a terrible misclick. I'll just stand on it. Totally normal metalworking things. And another hammerhead. Oh, shoot! I was splitting. I hope I'm gonna have enough metal left. Might have to just give up on this one. I'll just keep hammering and count voxels at the end. I think I'll be one short. Yeah, I think I'll be one short. Yeah, I'm gonna be one short. RIP. So this is what happens when you have a failed project. I am indeed one short. So I can either add bronze to it or chisel it to get back bits, which I will do. So if you ever have a failed project, you can just break it down to 10 bronze bits and recast it. So here's 10 bronze bits that I can then stick straight into the crucible, light it up, and just melt it and put it in the mold. So it's not... It's... I can recover it, but yeah. So it could be worse. At least I had a chisel on hand. So that's the base. Here's the top. It's still pretty hot. Cheers. For how fuel deprived I am, that was an unfortunate mistake. Because I'm really running low on charcoal. And this base is almost too cool to work anyway. Well, at least I don't have to use up a hammer to make a hammer. Now it's just a mold straight into... Oink. Ah! I'm pretty sure I'll have enough charcoal to make the anvil. But then I'll be out of charcoal. Alright, that's nice and hot. Put 1 and 2 back on. And start working this. It's hard to see the vertical layers here. Because, as I explained, you kind of wanted to get it as flat as possible, but it's like really hard to tell when it's not, when it is flat and what it isn't. Blob. So let's try to get the bottom layer sorted, and I'll work my way up. It's probably not hammer strike efficient, but I do have a bunch of hammers now, so... I'm more concerned about fuel efficiency than hammer efficiency, as we have spare hammers. Oh, it's... okay. That's another thing, is when I broke my hammer, it switched to the new hammer, but then started doing heavy hit. At least it wasn't cutting pieces off. It could be worse. So there's 4 over there that need to get moved. Alright, bottom layer's done. Blob. I find it's so much easier to, like, see what's going on when your bottom layer is done, because then it doesn't have the green voxel linings. Because the bottom layer green voxel linings, like, completely fill up the screen and become very difficult to, like, make sense of it all. Okay. More metal. Yeah, defaulting to heavy hit is more annoying than catastrophic, exactly. You can always correct it, as long as you didn't remove the voxels of metal. It's when you remove voxels of metal, you can't take those removed voxels and put them back, short of chisel. And with something as large as an iron, you're just gonna burn another ingot of metal. You're not gonna, like, chisel it into bits again. That would be insane. The good news is you can always just stick another hot ingot on it and, you know, eat the cost of one extra ingot. It's not that big of a deal in the big scheme of things if you make a critical error. Alright, it's coming together. Just waiting for those to heat up a bit more. The bees... 1, 2, 3, 4... I think they've all swarmed. No, there's still some empty skeps. But all of the populated skeps are, like, harvestable. So I'm waiting for them to swarm to the empty ones. Flax is still not up at a full. Waiting on that. And this bottom part is almost too cold to work. Or top part, rather. This is the top half. Yeah, that would be painful, is to accidentally forge two bottoms or 2 tops. Ouch. I'm sure it's happened, and ouch, I feel for whoever did that. cold. Boink. Well, nice to have soy. The soy is, haven't grown soy yet. We did just get our first batch of cabbage. So maybe the next meal that I make will incorporate cabbage. So they get all the beautiful veggies. I think I need one whole ingot on this, don't I? I don't have enough. I didn't make any mistakes, but I don't have enough voxels left. I think I have 3 spare. No, I have 4 spare voxels. Okay, perfect. As long as I don't screw up, I won't need to stick another ingot on it. And now I've jinxed myself. No, we're good. So, bottom half. 4x. Top half. Smashy, 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 smashy. Iron Anvil! Woo! We did it! Out with the old, and in with the new. Donk. This old bronze anvil, if I had a spare ingot of bronze, which I don't, but if I had a spare ingot of bronze, I could break that down for parts, and at some point I'll do that. So, my current priority is go get meteoric iron. But, what I work on next... it's going to be up to you. So, agriculture, food preserves, mechanical power, windmill, leatherworking, or viewer suggestions. There you go. Liara, thank you for the bits. The iron anvil's worth some bits. I appreciate it. So we got our strong tannin, but nothing is moving for another almost full day. If I'm heading to the meteoric iron, I absolutely don't need to be bringing my bronze picks. Let's bring the iron pickaxe. And, yeah, alright, let's go. So, I'm gonna unpin that. I'm gonna name this iron mine. That's what it is. And then we are... oh, you know what? I just realized this is kind of far away. Yeah, it's quite far. So, before I head out there, I need more food. Because I'm gonna be very hungry if I go all the way out there and then not have food. So let's make some, like, cabbage soup. Cabbage and onion soup. My meat larder is totally tapped too, except for fat, and I don't tend to eat fat as a food source unless I'm super desperate. And grab my lantern. Good call. I'll bring the pickaxe with me, just so that if I need to mine things out that aren't meteoric iron, I can use the lesser pickaxe. And in preparation for the meteoric iron, I'll make another bloomery. The bloomery can also do quartz into glass. I don't have any reason to make a run of glass just yet. I'm sure that won't stay true forever. Oops. But I might as well just have my bloomeries ready for if and when I need to make more blooms of runs of stuff. It looks nicer, right? Having empty bloomeries? I think so. Cooking, how's it going? It's done. Well, this will certainly fill up my vegetable needs, as this meal is 100% vegetable. Make sure everything's closed up. Flax is still not grown, so yeah, let's venture out now. I am not currently wearing my bronze stuff. Noted. Should I? I will, because where I'm headed, I'm not likely to require... I need to be able to speak better. I'm not likely to need a lot of inventory space. I'm going to bring my armor as backup that I can quickly put on in the case of like a bear or something. Or more like wolves. I probably would still run from a bear. Unless I could prepare ahead of time and outbuild it or something. Okay, mechanical windmill is going to be next. There's a few different options that I had in mind for how to build a windmill. The first iteration of the windmill is going to be the bare minimum, not to look nice. Because a windmill that looks nice is like a very, very, very labor-intensive project. But there's a few different locations that I could place it. And I will be letting you guys decide that once I'm back home and I can show you. So the ideas that I had is it could be right above the smithy. So I'll talk a little bit about the strategy behind it. So for each Z level you go up, or each elevation level you go up, the wind is stronger. So a meta windmill is like all the way up to the skybox. So right now I'm at 128, which is halfway up. So it would be 128 cells vertical, which is very, very, very tall and looks very, very, very strange. So we're going to have to decide whether or not I have the maximum wind power windmill, which is to say, like, building it as high as I could go, or if I have a windmill that makes more visual sense, one that is tall, but only like let's say 10, 20 blocks tall, not 100 blocks tall. So how tall should my windmill be? Max height for max wind speed? Or make it visually appealing? Like 20 blocks tall. And you're going to want a windmill at the very minimum to be like, let's say 7 or 8 blocks tall. At the bare minimum, because the sails on the windmill get to be up to 5 long, I believe. So if you have if you don't have enough space for it, you'll run into problems. So the advantage of, and talking about this pull again, the advantage of the windmill produces mechanical power in speed and torque. Oh, they got copper here too. And the faster and stronger the wind speeds, the more work you can do with the wind. So the max height windmill is more reliably going to be able to do work. But it also increases the cost, because every vertical cell that goes up, you have to climb that, you have to build that, you have to rig it up, you know. So it increases the cost of the project, but also increases the efficacy of the windmill itself. It just might look ridiculous. There are ways to hide its ridiculous look, however, which is to not put the windmill directly over the smithy or even base in general, but instead to offset it. And you know, I'm deep enough in the forest right now that I'm straight up gonna wear the armor now. I feel imperiled. So yeah, there's ways to make the weird, ugly looking windmill less obvious, where you not have it like directly above the base and then you send the mechanical power through axles towards your base, so that you can hide its absurdity. But then, you know, so the other advantage of a visually appealing windmill is like it's smaller in scale, so it's manageable, and it can look nice. And there's a few different ideas they had for that. I can have a simple windmill looking thing over the sitting over the smithy, which would be the most straightforward, just a vertical axle up to the windmill, and then a large gear with the sails turning. Probably eventually, well, the amount of sails that I have, the amount of rotors and sails that I have will be also up to you. The max strength would be like, the max strength that I would consider, however, would be like four windmill blades, which quadruples the cost. Whoa, Jesus, this terrain sucks. I hate this part of the forest. Or to just have a single blade windmill, which would be a quarter of the potential strength, but like it would look like a windmill that you would recognize in real life. Whereas the 4-bladed windmill would look more like a quadcopter or something like that. It would look silly, but it would function a lot better. But even in looking silly, you could probably set it up so that it wasn't too ugly. So there's a bunch of different options, and I'm going to have you guys pick. I'm so tempted to just like blitz through the mountainside, punching a hole in the mountain. Because I'm not planning on commuting through here often, I'm not going to invest in this terrain. I just want to get to the stupid metals. Hey! Okay. Just free gear. The reason I'm not going to bother like voting for a shortcut mountain is I don't have a direction I care to travel often enough. Like if there was a reason for me to commute between two spots frequently, I would absolutely consider putting that on the poll. But like, I don't come over here. Like I might not ever need to come this way ever again. So spending a lot of time to create a pathway makes no sense if I'm not ever going to use it. Oh, fire clay. Whoa. And we are heading into bear country over here. Actually, I don't even want that fire clay. Now you gotta be careful. I'm ready to like nerd pull in a moment's notice. Why not stopping to prospect? There isn't anything that I need to prospect for at the moment. Like, the chance of me finding sylvite, or, like, salt, or something like that is pretty low. So I'm not stopping, because, it's not something I need. Yeah, meteoric iron in the top layer is weird. Agreed. I'm just gonna do a, oh yeah, here we go. There was more. I was gonna do a node search, but I just found it. Normally, this is not normally what an impact would look like. Normally, it's suvite impact rock and suvite bits that you'd find on the surface in an impact crater. So if you take a look at this, this has kind of like a indented crater in what otherwise was a flat terrain. This kind of indentation usually indicates meteorite strikes, and you should investigate if you suspect meteorites. And then you can also find these suvite bits, which are these things. Or save swavite. I don't care. Which would look like this on the surface. And that is that's sort of what to look for when you're looking for meteorite strikes. But these aren't meteoric iron. They're just they're like, think of it as like impact slag. Oops. No ore nearby. All right. So I dug it all out. Boop. Do I want... No, I don't really care about the swavite. I'm just going to leave it behind. So that is done. Delete. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, which originally streamed live on Twitch December 14th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind for this series I've asked for no spoilers or backseating. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com also has a link to that, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs,